All right, here we are, Celtics live post-game show. You can probably tell by the sound of my voice, even if you didn't watch the game. Celtics come out of here with a loss in a game that they were down a million points. And just like they did against the Spurs last year, right? They were down a million. They start to come back, and you're like, okay, here we go. I'm not going to be mad about this game. I'm not going to be frustrated with this game because the Celtics are about to come back and win this game. They go and complete the comeback. Get it to, what do they have, 88 points? 88 to 81 or something like that? They finish the game not scoring for the last 3+ minutes, I believe. Maybe it was 2+ minutes. I just read it on Twitter before jumping on here. I think it was 3+ minutes without scoring at the end of the game. You could be up so many points, and if you don't score for 3 straight minutes, do you think you're going to win that game? So there's a womp womp. There's a womp womp for this end to the game because the Celtics had a win in their hand in a game where they didn't have that win. The Spurs were kicking their ass, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you know what? We got this. We came back. We're the better team, right? We came back. No. We came back and played 45 minutes, and then somebody in the crowd was like, hey, Celtics, by the way, the game's 48 minutes. And the Celtics were like, whoops. So there's a bummer there. I'm really frustrated after it because a lot, like, minus the big comeback here, so much stuff sort of frustrated me. So if you're just joining us, guys, the Celtics lost 96 to 88. In that game, I mean, no one scored for like the first 10 minutes either. But in a game where the Celtics definitely started to complete a comeback, actually looked like they were capable of playing basketball, only to absolutely let us down. But let's get into some chat tonight, guys. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. Like the video as well, and if you do want to skip the chat line, if you want to get shouted out right away, make sure to drop a super chat. It supports the show. But let's get to the box score here, and then we can get to the chat. All right, looking at the box score here, we'll just go top to bottom. Jaylen Brown, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 38% from the field, 43% from 3. Jaylen, I feel like, had 16 points, like, early on, and he just kind of iced out there. Jason Tatum, I'm frustrated with him tonight. We're going to get to that. The percentages don't look that great, 39%, 28%. We'll get to him, but he was instrumental in the comeback. I guess I can give credit where it's due. 24 points from him, 12 boards. But again, just because he was instrumental in the comeback, the rest of the game, I do want to kind of talk about him. Then we had Marcus Smart, 13 points, and a guy, Grant Williams, who I think actually contributed big time today. Grant Williams, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and he was a plus 18. There was one guy in the positives tonight. Actually, 2 guys, because I want to shout out him too, but 2 guys in the positives tonight when it comes to plus minus. Grant Williams, plus 18, and then Cantor, who I felt like came in and stunk it up right away, and I was like, oh boy, Cantor's not doing anything good. He stinks. Cantor actually had some good run there. Cantor played really well. He was a plus 28 today. But all right, guys, let's get to some chat here. I am sweating my ass off for whatever reason. Let's crack a losing beer. How's that sound? Cool down a little bit. I have a cough drop in my mouth too, so this is probably going to taste terribly. Ever pour a beer before, Ev? All right, let's get to some of the chat here. We got Aaron saying, my God. Sweaty saying, I'm pissed with Tatum. All right, we'll talk Tatum right now. I'm pissed with Tatum. He gets such open and easy looks right at the rim and misses. Murray was owning him tonight and was looking like a superstar on the court. Murray looked unreal. Murray looked really good. What did he have? Murray ended up with 29, 11, and 6 on 50% shooting from the field. And he got the line 7 times there. Murray looked like the best player in that game, which stinks because Tatum should be the best player in that game, you know, every single time out of 10. 10 times out of 10, Tatum should be the best player in that game. Wasn't the case tonight. So, yeah, Murray kind of had the superstar spotlight on him. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. I will say, I wish Murray was a Celtic. We've made videos of him on the channel and everything like that. I would love to see DeJounte Murray in green. Not trading Tatum or Brown for him or anything like that. But, man, he is a good player. But Tatum, I don't necessarily want to get into the open look misses and everything like that. What I will say is Tatum, like I said, I give him credit for it. Sound. Do we have sound? Do we have sound? Do we have sound? Give me a yes or no. The mic was not muted, but every bit of audio on the computer went out. Let me know if we got sound. I see we do because I see the bars moving, so we're gonna roll with it. All right, cool. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but let's move on with the chat here. Gear saying these Celtics versus Spurs games always have weird endings, and so that was the thing. I thought we were kind of following the same process. Not process, but the same result as what we saw that last time where Tatum dropped 60 on the Spurs. I was like, all right, they're going down, they're coming back, they're starting to do their thing, and then they fall short. Another womp womp, because now the sound's working. How about a womp womp? You know, and it's like, come on. You come back all the way only to literally get like mollywopped at the end? That's the frustration. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you know, they came back and fell short. The Celtics didn't come back and fall short. The Celtics came back and got spanked. Didn't score in the last 3 minutes. Like, what are you doing? What is your plan there? Frustrating. Frustrating, to say the least. Greg said the Celtics are the only team to come back 24 just to lose on a 15-0 run in the last 340. Team's a joke and won't go further than the second round at best. It sucks because I don't know if we have the ammo to deny that, right? Like, can we deny that that's the case? I don't know if we can say, oh, the Celtics look like they could even make at all a push into, you know, the Eastern Conference Finals or anything like that. Like, what have we seen that would tell us that? I don't know. Levi saying this team's so frustrating right now. Are you freaking kidding me? 5-12 team, but the Spurs, I don't know what's going on, but this is unacceptable for the coach and the players. It's unacceptable for everyone. And I had some friends over, you know, and watched the game against Brooklyn and everything. We started talking about it, and they were saying, oh, I think it's the coach. I think it's this. And it's like, I don't know if you can pinpoint what's wrong with this team. I really don't. I don't know if you can sit there and be like, oh, Tatum's the problem. I don't know if you could sit there and be like, oh, Udoka's the problem. I don't think you can pinpoint exactly what's wrong with this team. I think this team legitimately just has a bunch of problems that seem like they're going to be harder than one would have thought to fix. Like, the coach doesn't look like he's anything different than what we complained about last year, right? There's one thing. But then you have Tatum, Brown, these guys that, you know, it's like they look good when the other one's not on the court or when the other one's injured or when the other one's sick. They play together all of a sudden, and that's a big thing that we talked about on the Celtics Power Hour podcast that I do with KJ. I hate the conversation of, oh, can Jason Tatum play with Jaylen Brown? Can Jaylen Brown play with Jason Tatum? But it sucks that over and over and over and over and over again, they give little bits of evidence and little bits of pieces and sort of, you know, credence to the people that say no. And we have to revisit that conversation because there is multiple things wrong with this team. We thought last year, coming into this year, we just get rid of the coach, right? Get rid of the coach and poof, our problems are going to be fixed. Do we see that? Like, no. And again, the frustration in my voice, the frustration probably from you guys, is because this Celtics team didn't come back and fall short. If that was the case, if they came back and went back and forth, maybe my voice would have a little bit of a different tune to it, right? But that ain't the case. That ain't the case. Like this team came back only to get punched in the face and not get back up. Aaron saying need many drinks. Cheers to that. Nick saying, bro, just disown the Celtics. I have a room dedicated to the Celtics. A little bit harder to do that. Levi says, Tatum needs to do something different. Selfish player and doesn't care about his teammates. And I thought we saw something changing. I did. I kind of thought we saw something changing with him when it came down, you know, the last 5 games or so. I thought we started to see a Tatum that was just more of a complete player. Brown comes back and poof. I hope that that's not the case, but that's what we've seen. So what he's saying, we need to do something with this team. We need scorers. We have a bunch of cones on this team. Prince saying they can't even beat a damn 4-12 Spurs. 5-12 now. Let's see. Aaron saying team can't shoot. It's their biggest problem. Brian saying what went wrong. Maybe you're talking about the audio because I see a lot of people talking about the audio, guys. By the way, I'm no like tech magician here. I know a little bit about tech though, and that was not my fault. I mean, I guess it had to be my fault. It had to be someone's fault, but the audio just kicked out. And the only reason I noticed is because I got a pop-up here talking about the connection. But did not have my mic muted. I was not that dumb. But what went wrong, Brian? I don't know if you're talking about when we had the audio outage or the Celtics, but what went wrong is the Celtics team just stopped scoring. The Celtics literally thought the game ended at 45 minutes. They completed a 20-plus point comeback. Yeah, man, let's go. 20-plus points. Easy, easy. Well, what happens when you just don't score for 3 minutes or 3+ minutes? I think Greg said it was 3:40. What happens there? Oh, well, the Celtics just found out. They got DeJounte Murray'd in their face. Seriously. Gear saying, make sure you guys drop a like if you have not yet already. Yeah, guys, drop a like. Did I say that twice? Drop a like, guys. I do have a cough drop in my mouth, so it might be why I'm slurring my words. But cheers. Miller Lite and a menthol cough drop. Oh, perfect combination. Let's see. Wolf is saying this team is disappointing. And you know what? I'm probably going to make a bigger point out of this than I should, but I like the comment because think about how excited we were going into this season. We thought we solved the problem. Got rid of Brad, gotten a new coach that, this guy at G. Willikers, he's amazing. He's going to be the future coach. Get Dennis Schroeder, get Josh Richardson, all of this. Tatum gets better, Brown gets better. It's like, oh my God, let's go. Did that work? Like, did it work? Because I don't like the idea of saying, oh, it's still early in the year, or, we still have time for it all to click. Guys, we're almost in December. You know what I mean? Like the Celtics are a quarter of the way done. Almost, I guess I should say. A quarter of the way done with their season. Right? Like, it's not early anymore. It stinks. Ray saying, horrible team, embarrassing, and a smack in the face of history of this organization. That's harsh, but how can you deny that, right? Like, Ray, that's harsh to say, and I don't know if I'm fully there yet, but how can I be like, oh, you're wrong? You know what I mean? I'm just saying I'm personally not there yet. Let's see. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Dacian says, nice hoodie. Where'd you get it? We do have these on the Guy Boston Sports store, so GuyBostonSports.com/store. Speaking of which, if you guys do want to pick up some merch for all Boston sports, we have a sale going on right now. BFCM is the promo code. BFCM is the promo code. And I'll put this in the chat right now for anyone that likes this hoodie. It's the Teddy Celtic collection. It's probably like the most work we put in with designers ever, if I'm being completely honest. So that is, I just dropped it in the chat here. It's the Teddy Celtic. We got a bunch. You got Teddy. Where is he? Over here. You got the thing there. Came out last year and honestly sold out multiple times. So if you guys do want to pick up Teddy Celtic, it's premium. It's probably the best thing. And anyone that has one probably in the chat can tell you that too. It's like the most legit hoodie that we made. All right, let's keep going here. I appreciate that, Dacian, for saying that it's a nice hoodie. Gear says, maybe we just don't have enough offense. But we should. That's the problem. You should. You have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You have, I hate to say it, but Marcus Smart, who I think has been shooting the ball not better, but his shot selection has been a little bit better. And then, the guys that you banked on. Dennis Schroeder. I bank on Josh Richardson. Nesmith, Langford. These guys are supposed to take a step up, right? That's the big issue. It's like the guys that you thought you had and could count on aren't really there and aren't really doing it right now. Like Aaron Nesmith was supposed to be a scorer off the bench for this team, right? He actually hit a 3 tonight, had another bucket, then didn't play. And again, I don't even want to get into the rotation tonight because I think that there's credence as to why, guys didn't play. Like Jabari comes in, Jabari hits a 3, makes a couple foul shots, plays 4 minutes. But fair, they were losing. That wasn't working. But, you thought you had guys in the bank here, and then poof, they just don't work out. So that's the issue. Like it's so frustrating. How can anyone deny that this team is underwhelming? Or back to that comment by Wolf that this team is disappointing. We were so pumped to come into this year because we thought we solved all the problems. Brad Stevens was the biggest issue. He's gone now. Blah blah blah. Bull. This team still has its struggles, and we see it. 3 minutes is hard to do. Hard to do. To not score. That's crazy to me. I think I could be in an NBA game and, give me 3 minutes to shoot the ball. I might make one heave of a 3 and make it. The Celtics didn't even make one. Yeah, screw it. I'm telling you guys, menthol cough drop and beer. So good. As I almost throw up. So he says, that's what it is. We don't have enough offense. Trade for some scorers, elite shooters, please. I like the second part of that. And I think I see Aaron saying right here, he says, no shooting. This team's never healthy, and Tatum has been regressing for 2 years. On the shooting front, I've said it before here. I've said it in videos. I've said it on the stream. This Celtics team addressed many problems, or at least I'll give you this. Tried to address many problems in the offseason, right? Excuse me. They tried. You can't get mad at them for trying on those things. What you can get frustrated with is that for years we've had issues not being able to shoot or have shooters, right? Have a guy that, hey, what are you good at? Oh, I'm a shooter. Who's that? It's supposed to be Aaron Nesmith. He's not that guy. He ain't that guy, pal. That's one thing we can be frustrated with. It doesn't seem like they even tried really to address that shooting concern. And I think that that's something that could really benefit the team. It's as simple as and as corny and basketball nerdy as saying, guess what? A shooter in the corner could open up the floor for Tatum to drive or Brown to drive, and then a drive and kick opportunity, blah, blah, blah. There's a reason why a lot of good teams have sharpshooters. Because that's part of the point of basketball. Being able to dribble, being able to pass, and being able to shoot. Put me out there. I'll hit a couple threes. Guaranteed, not guaranteed. Vitor saying, I bet the Spurs because another YouTuber call it. Greg, I'm glad I didn't take the Celtics tonight. That was one of my leans tonight. I'm glad I didn't have the guts to take them. Because how'd that work out? Greg, because I don't think the only reason the Celtics were garbage was Brad. The benches stink still, and they do not have any shooters. Can hit those every possession. They need shooters and a better bench. Yeah, and I think it's what we're learning. But a lot of people thought that Brad was including myself, right? I'm not saying I wasn't, but so many people thought that Brad was the issue, and that was the main concern. The vibe of this team was messed up because Brad. It wasn't Brad. It wasn't Brad Stevens. Wasn't him at all, really. I'm willing to say that it was not Brad Stevens at all. Yes, the players tuned him out. Yes, but that was not the biggest issue. Was it an issue? Sure. But in terms of, end of year, how's that going to impact you? God, I really don't know if I think it was Brad now. Based on watching this team for a quarter of the year, I don't know if I can say, oh yeah, it was Brad Stevens' fault last year. Could he have been a contributing factor? Sure. But I don't think it was Brad Stevens' fault, like I said multiple times last year. Greg saying they got DeJounte Murray in the face. That has to be sexual. Ahan saying Spurs 5-13 now, shorting them one loss. Brian saying as time goes on, Ben for JB does not look that bad. I don't know if I'm there yet. Sweaty saying been watching this channel for 3 years now. Wow. Let's go. 3 years from Sweaty. Appreciate that, my man. I love that we kind of transitioned to the YouTube. Because, a lot of people know that we kind of went in and started this on the Twitter sphere, and then they got rid of their live function. It's back now, but we kind of said, screw it, let's get to YouTube. We went to YouTube, and I love it here. Levi says, I need a beer, and I literally threw my phone. I was so upset. We were hyped up only to be let down over and over and over again. Tatum needs to step up and be a leader on this team. And you know what? I will say, it's not a bad point, because at what time do we say, Tatum's so good that he just needs to be the leader? Because for forever, we've been saying, it's okay. He can be the silent guy. Marcus Smart can lead, and Tatum will be a leader eventually, right? He'll get there. But shouldn't he be there? I'm still not on the, rag on Tatum train, because I do think that he's going to be the one that, at the end of the year, just like all years, we'll be oh, that's our prized possession. But I will say, leadership needs to start to come, right? He can't go from scoring 26 points last year and taking a huge leap scoring. There's no huge leap to take anymore. The leap he needs to take is being able to facilitate, one, and two, kind of become more of a man on this team and lead this team. That's the leap he needs. Brian says, I feel like Nesmith should go to the G League. They should bring up Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser, is he still in he's on a two-way, right? So there is a limit to how much he can even pay just based on his contract. But in terms of bringing guys or sending them down to the G League, if you're not going to play some guys, I don't see why not. You're not playing Peyton Pritchard. You're barely playing Nesmith. Could they get more minutes, or could they learn playing somewhere? Because I do believe that's how you sort of get better, right? You start to play. I don't blame Peyton Pritchard for having a down year. Why don't I blame Peyton Pritchard for having a down year? Let's see. Because he just doesn't play. How can he prove anyone wrong? How can he get in a rhythm? Moon saying, I predict this team gets blown up, including one or both Jays in the next 2 years. A lot of this, and I think Celtics fans are slowly but surely going to get to the point of saying rip off the Band-Aid. And I'm saying this, right? It's like this frustration. Because again, it's a different tune I'm singing. If the Celtics come back from 24 points and lose on a DeJounte Murray game winner, okay? I'd still be mad they lost. I'd still be pissed they went down 24 points, but it wouldn't be the same as going up 7 with 3 minutes to go and not scoring a single point after that. That's the annoying part. That's the crazy part. That's the frustrating part. You guys, that makes sense, right? You guys are on the same page? Like, I don't really care that the Celtics went down that far. They came back, okay? If they won that game, we'd be singing, they were down so much and won this game, let's go. That means you can't focus on the fact that they got down that far or down that much. Because if they did win it, we'd be celebrating the fact that they were down so much. What we can be annoyed about and pissed about is the fact that this Celtics team completed the comeback only to kick themselves in the nuts. Like, you didn't score for 3 minutes and 40 seconds? Yikes. Brian says Sam Hauser could be our Duncan Robinson. Man, that would be awesome to have him. That would be awesome. I know you didn't say get Duncan Robinson, but how great would that be? Duncan Robinson on this team. CJ says KG should have been our head coach. I know that a lot of people said that, right? In the offseason, everything like that. And I don't know if KG would be down. I would take him in a heartbeat, obviously. You're not going to catch me saying no to that. But I feel like KG's kind of like past the coaching point. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't he talking about trying to buy a team recently? Plenty, like, he might be past the stress of a coaching job. But CJ, you're not going to find me saying no to that. If he wanted to coach the Celtics, damn, sign me up. I'm never saying they have to trade or fire the coach. I think they need to do something. They have to shake something up. 100%, I think they do. So he's saying, my wish is having Cat on the Celtics. That's gotta be like I think that is probably my white buffalo. You know what I'm trying to say. That's like my dream. Greg says, maybe give Pritchard some minutes. Guy should be getting 20 minutes at least because he's technically like our best guy to hit a deep shot and hit some threes, but he's been slept on. But he must have he's being slept on. I read it as he's been slept on. He must have slept with Neil Long, who's Doka's. I read that wrong, but either way, it makes sense. I mean, Pritchard did something, right? Like, he's not even getting minutes. Levi says, why bulk up over the offseason and not using it to Tatum's advantage? He bulks up so he can get to the rim. Yeah, and I wish he would too. I wish he would get closer to the rim, play inside out, right? Like, that's one thing I wish that he would do. Like, we've had Tatum drop 30 points going 1 of 9 from 3. Like, dude, 3 of those shots, you might have 6 extra points. You know what I mean? Get to the hoop, man. I'd like to see that. I think that could help him. 2 of, like, 28% from 3, and he is coming off a stretch of playing well. So let's be fair to him, but yeah. Get to the hoop, Tatum. Gear says, maybe we can get one of the Kings guys like Buddy or Barnes. I would take either of them. I'd take Barnes. I'd take Buddy Hield. I would take Marvin Bagley, depending on, obviously, the price for all of them. Sign me up. I like all 3 of those guys. CJ saying players got to be moved. Gear says, hear me out. I think this team would be a lot better with Gordon Hayward. We could use that type of player. I don't hate it. I mean, you have his shooting ability. You have his sort of, hey, guys, calm down. Like, when the Celtics hadn't scored for, I don't know if you guys heard me say it yet, 3 minutes and 40 seconds at the end of the game, it would be nice to give the ball to a guy that you could be like, okay, we trust him with the ball in our hands, right? We trust him with the ball in our hands. Let's slow down. Let's do something smart here instead of just these one-and-done shots and threes and everything like that. So, yeah, I mean, they probably would be. You know who else they'd probably be better with on that team? Terry. You know, like, it sucks. They have a couple guys they let go. Maybach saying this team's not mentally tough. Clearly not. I think that proved that tonight. You're right. Gear says Ime's probably looking at Brad thinking to himself, maybe it wasn't Brad's fault. Ime's thinking, what did I get myself into? Ben says, I think if we were still 500 after 30 games, we fire Ime. So I think that'll tell me that, you know what? This might not be the answer, this coach, right? I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know if I see them firing him. Like, I think they give him to the end of the year. Because you don't solve anything really by bringing in a new coach, right? But I mean, I don't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if he isn't the coach, I'm not gonna just stick around with him because I talked him up and people talked him up and we were hyped about him in the offseason, right? Like, we don't want to just be like, oh, we said he was good, so let's force ourselves to think he was good. Like, he does have somewhat of a leash. I just don't think it's 30 games. But But, you know, if it's at the end of the year and they're a terrible team, everything like that, who knows? Jonas saying, be smooth, sent me here. Shout out to Be Smooth, man. Those I tune into those pretty much every game, guys. If you're not watching his live streams during the games. Good point from Maybach. He says these players are not making each other better, and they're not. Never saying this is my ticket tonight. Hornets money line, hit it. Bucks -3. Looks like did they hit it? Did that game finish up? Because that was what I was on too. Thunder +7, I believe that hit as well. That was one of my strong leans. I think the Thunder only lost by a couple. And then Warriors -6. That looks good in Celtics money line. So that might be the only loss, huh? Sweaty says, what a slow start. We can't be losing 40-16 to the Spurs. Oh, but we can, Sweaty, because it's the Celtics. These guys love it. Greg says, honestly, I would take Ben Simmons just because his defense passing with Brown and Tatum if somehow could get him less, but no shooting would fuck us. I don't know if I read that right. Probably not. I got to get some more reading juice in me. But if you're saying, would you take Ben Simmons? I would too. Not for Jalen or Brown or Jalen or Tatum. But I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, screw him. I understand that I've hated on Ben Simmons. There's tweets, there's videos that I've hated on him forever. Because he's a Sixer, because he's Ben Simmons, and I'm a Celtics fan. Comes with territory. But, man, I don't think that I would hate him on the Celtics right now. Guys, like the stream up right now. We got more people in here than that have liked the stream. Also, subscribe if you guys are new. We're getting to the chat here. If you do want to support, drop a super chat. Simple as that. But, all right, we'll get to the chat. Let me just take another slug of this reading juice. Jonas, not a bad. I mean, this is a glass half full take, but he says it's supposed to be frustrating to watch your star players grow, and that's fair. But I should, and maybe I'm crazy, guys. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. I think that we should be more toward, like you say, it's supposed to be frustrating watching your star players grow. In that, I like the sense of, remember when Tatum had like the regression second year and everything like that? I think Tatum should be grown now. Maybe I'm the crazy one then. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think that Tatum should be grown. So I shouldn't be watching Tatum grow anymore. Get better? Sure. Because everyone can keep getting better and better and better. But I don't think we're watching Tatum grow into a star anymore, right? Shouldn't he already be a star? Does that make sense? Maybach saying, sad when less talented teams are beating us. It's worse than sad, man. Worse than sad. That's being too nice. Ben saying, coaching is the sole reason we have about 7 losses. So there's the take, too. And like I said, I don't know if, Ben, you were in here earlier when I was saying that, watching the game a few nights ago with a couple of buddies, and, you know, everything was frustrating. And they were like, oh, it's the coaching. Like, the coaching is, and I was like, I want to give the guy time. I do. But I'm trying not to be biased, too, being like, oh, it's not the coach. He's the new guy. Like, no. But, like, I don't love the rotations that he's put in. He also, I feel like we thought he could take timeouts. He takes less timeouts than Brad Stevens does almost. I don't know. I mean, it's like I can't deny what you're saying, right? I hope you understand what I'm saying, Ben. I can't disagree or deny with what you're saying, but I can just say, I don't know if I'm getting myself there yet. All right, I'm trying to make a good point, but the cough drop just slipped out of my pocket here. Hold on. Put it back in there. In the middle of me trying to make a meaningful point. I can't deny what you're saying or you know, really debate it, but all I can say is I'm not there yet to be like, oh, he's the only reason. That's it. Excuse me. Crimson saying Grant and Cantor should have finished the game. They made the comeback with those guys out there, right? They take them out and poof. There goes your lead. There goes your possible win. All right, cough drop gone. If I start coughing now, sorry. Brian says, JB, Rich, for Ben and Seth Curry would solve some problems. It would solve some problems. I just don't know if I'm in the boat of giving up JB for Ben Simmons. I don't think I'm there to give up JB. Mubi says you can't do anything with 2 all-time selfish players. Even if we had a player that shot 100% from 3 every game, they would rather take a shot over 3 people than pass. I mean, yeah, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying too earlier about, can these guys even play with each other? So forget their selfishness. If 2 stars don't complement each other, or I guess we could say, just like you're saying, complement anyone else, are they stars? I don't know. Ben talking about Udoka makes horrible adjustments. All right, we'll take a few more chat here, guys. We're skipping ahead just a little bit. Throat's bothering me. Brian saying, not sure if Ime would get fired within a season, considering the players and Brad chose him. Tough stretch right now. That's what it is. I don't know if they would fire him. I'm not saying, back to Ben's point about if they are, say halfway through the year, they're still 500 or below 500 or anything like that. That is sort of credible. Like, that's credence to fire a guy. I just don't know if they fire him on his first year. Maybe it's an off-season move or something like that. I'm in the boat, and I could be swayed. I could change my mind. But I'm in the boat right now of they're probably going to give him this season. Like, they're probably going to see how this season plays out and take it from there. We'll see, though. I'd probably do this. Marcus Smart, Langford, and Grant for Ben Simmons. Maybach says I'd probably do that. Brian says, at this point, this is a throwaway year. Hopefully we get Beal next year. The funny thing is, does Beal even want to come here anymore? Is Beal looking at this team and saying, this is more desirable than what I'm dealing with in Washington? Because standings-wise, Washington is just a better team than the Celtics. They were ahead of the East just a few nights ago. I think they're in, like, 4th now. Like, does Bradley Beal want to come here? I hope so. I mean, I'd still like that, but bam. Drew says they don't have a lot of depth right now, even though they should be able to beat a Spurs team, 100%. Johan just comparing it to some of the greats. I know, I hear you. Maybach saying, I'm 45 years old, born and raised in Boston. Ime coaching feels like ML Carr over again. CJ saying, Tatum Aiden leader, he can't even speak during a press conference. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. I don't like and that happened when Smart called out Tatum. Remember that, guys? I don't like that. I don't like that move of, you have a bad loss or a bad game and you don't show up to the presser. I don't like that. Lucas says, can't wait until Tatum or Brown leaves. This is painful to watch. I have a feeling it's never going to work out. No chip for the Celtics for another decade. Oh, that sounds terrible. Sounds terrible. Greg says, played $18 on DraftKings and only winning $350 back. Not my best night. CJ says, at least Brown stands for something and actually works his game on both sides. That's true. I mean, all right, we'll end it. Not end it, but, we're starting to close up shop here. We're going to jump off pretty soon. Let me know who you guys would keep. One or the other. I'm not saying we have to have that talk or anything like that. If you had to choose Tatum or Brown, who are you keeping based on this year? Or based on what you've seen so far? Because I think Brown's made more of a case this year. I think I'm still in the Tatum boat in terms of, if we had to pick one to keep. But Tatum's getting a lot of flack and a lot of hate this year. So who would you guys keep if you had to keep one of them? And we'll keep going on some chat as we do that, and then we'll revisit that in a second. Statman saying, if I go 1,000 on the Warriors to beat the Clippers tomorrow, how confident are you? Both on a back-to-back. I mean, I like the Warriors. Depends on who's in. Both these guys have some banged-up guys here. Money, I mean, I've been riding with the Warriors all along, but I don't want to be playing with your unit there, with your 1K. I mean, if everyone's a go, then I would lean Warriors. And you say you love the channel. I mean, hey, I appreciate that, but don't fault me for that one, man. I'm leaning Warriors. I'm going with the Warriors. Warriors have won me so much money this year, but think about that. Think about it. That's a decent play on a game. So think about that. But I do like the Warriors. Brian says, what happened to the guy we drafted this year? Yeah, Wanhan Bajarman, right? Whatever he is, I think they stashed him over in France. Or not stashed, I think he's finishing his contract, something like that. All right, we got some here. So Statman saying keeping Tatum. Sweaty saying Brown. No, Tatum, but Brown's been better. Prince is saying Brown. CJ saying even with COVID and injured hamstring, Brown's more consistent. Moon saying JB. Hold on. So let me see what we got here. Let me do this. Maybe I could throw up a poll. Can I do that? I don't even know how to do that, to be completely honest. I was thinking that I could, and then I was like, you know what? I don't know if I could figure that one out. Here we go. I can. Oh, man, you guys are going to like this. Even if you already answered. Let's see how the poll does. I don't think we've ever done this before. Did it work? I think I got it. I think I got it. Can you guys, is the poll up? Hey, I don't know. We already had the audio cut out once. I don't know if I should be trying new technological things. But we're trying it. I don't know if the poll worked. I really don't. Did the poll work? I can't. How stupid am I, guys? I can't see the poll. Let's see if I can open my own stream here. Hey, shout out, giving myself an extra view. There we go. I do see it. Would you look at that? Hey, your boy's not too dumb after all. How about that, huh? Wow. 17 votes. All right, once it gets to 20 votes, maybe we'll stop it. So Brown, I mean, at least I guess Brown is, we'll end it. Brown wins that? That's kind of crazy to me. I think I'm still on Tatum's vote, but I think Brown's made more of a debate about it this year. Ubi says, when Smart called out JB and JT for not passing, we only saw JT actually started passing. JB didn't care and just got offended. I do think that Brown secretly is like, I don't want to say this. I was going to say secretly not like a huge team guy or anything like that, but that's not right. But you got to know you got to get what I mean. Like, I don't necessarily think that, that Brown is like this amazing sort of, oh my God, what a guy. Like, this guy is just such a team player. Like, I feel like he's quiet, doesn't always talk, everything like that. So like in terms of leadership and whatnot, maybe Brown leads by example or something a little bit more than Tatum. I don't know, because he doesn't flare his arms up and complain to refs, everything like that. But I don't know if this comes down to like a leadership or a teammate talk. I know Tatum looks like he wants to be the superstar, takes a bunch of shots and whatnot, but like they're very similar to me in terms of being a teammate guy. And Ubi, to your point, like Tatum looks like he tried to do that, I guess. Prince saying, sorry, but Tatum complaining to the refs is getting old. Oh my God, it's so old. He's done it less and less as of late. I do think Udoka has kind of gotten in his head a little bit, but man, oh man, I'm over Tatum complaining to the refs. Like, dude, just get back on defense. That sounds so like old school basketball and cliche, but oh my God, just get back on D. That's annoying as hell. You guys will let me know the poll's up. I mean, hey, I'm not that dumb after all right? I got the poll up. I'm not that dumb after all. Give me Embiid, Butler, and Bam for Tatum. Like, yeah, I mean, I'd take those three guys. Evan says, I don't even know what to say about tonight. Oh, man. There's, you know what to say about tonight is that it's great that they completed the comeback, but then they got kicked in the you-know-whats, didn't score for the last 3 minutes plus. Like, so frustrating. That's what to say. Salmon saying, how far do you think the Celtics go this season? I know there's a lot of variables. We're still early in the year, but what's your hope for this season? My hope is that they I don't know. I guess that they get out of the first round handily and then take it from there. Like right now, this team isn't promising me or making me think or hope about anything, right? Like, I know that that's super pessimistic to say, oh, just get out of the first round. But really, I don't see them like, I don't know. It pains me to say, but I just don't see them looking like an incredibly, contending team. I think that most people are on that boat, though, right? CJ says if Jalen leaves, he'd win a ring before Tatum, and if Brown does end up leaving, he should go to Utah, Charlotte, or Golden State. Yeah, I mean, Utah and Golden State are in a better position to win a ring right now. This is interesting. Ubi says, I get it, but JB only cares about getting his stats. See, that's the thing that people probably would say about Tatum, right? But do they both think that way? Because that's not the best combination. CJ says, Draymond likes Brown. What if JB went to the Warriors? He would kill it there. Brian says, at what point do we talk about JB and him being injury prone? I want to avoid that. I just want to avoid thinking about that. I do. But it sucks because he kind of is. But I don't know. Injury, COVID, like, I don't know if you want to say that those are the two of the same, but I know he's got a hamstring right now. Ubi saying, if we could flip JB and Rob for Cat, I'd do it. I think Cat's the only guy I would trade Jalen for. Really. And I know that seems like a homer take and whatnot because a lot of people trade Jalen for other guys, but Karl-Anthony Towns, again, is like my white whale, white buffalo, whatever the hell the saying is. King says, why do we keep struggling? A Buddy Hield will be good. Buddy Hield will be great. And I know that he shoots a million threes and whatnot, but they just need a guy that shoots. They need a shooter. We banked on Aaron Nesmith. Aaron Nesmith isn't that guy. He ain't that guy, pal. Maybe he will be. He's not right now, though. They need a shooter. And on that note, guys, we are going to close down shop. Appreciate everyone tuning in tonight, even with the audio technical difficulty in the beginning of the stream, but we got past it. Sucks that the Celtics keep losing, but we are here live after every single Celtics game. Most Celtics game. I will say that. We missed a couple lately, but we do try to get here live after every single Celtics game. So if you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully we're talking about a win finally. I shouldn't say finally because they did go on a win streak there, but they've lost 2 straight now. It feels like a million years ago since they got a win. But, all right, guys, we'll catch you guys in the next stream. Peace out. Hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their weekend, enjoying responsibly, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream.